Good evening all your citizens, welcome back to the City Insider channel. In this video, we'll find out the latest news about Manchester City FC. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss daily update. Man City targeting Xabi Alonso. Manchester City are lining up Xabi Alonso to be their next manager if Pep Guardiola rejects a new contract. But they've got competition. Alonso, 42, has built up a stellar reputation in charge of German side Bayer Leverkusen, winning the Bundesliga title while going unbeaten last season. The Spaniard's record-breaking first full season with Leverkusen made him the favourite to replace Jurgen Klopp at former club Liverpool, but Alonso snubbed the chance to return to Anfield, opting to stay at Leverkusen for at least one more season. The 2024-25 campaign is expected to be his last. However, a Sky Germany report that chiefs at the Bay Arena are preparing for his departure next summer. That's because Premier League champion City are firmly interested alongside current kings of Europe and Spain Real Madrid, who Alonso left Liverpool for in 2009. City are being forced to assess potential candidates as Guardiola's contract expires at the end of this season. Liverpool won't be in the race after hiring on slot, but Madrid could opt to part ways with Carlo Ancelotti and put themselves in the market for a new boss next summer. The legendary manager signed a new contract until 2026 earlier this year, but Real are known for being ruthless and could sense an opportunity with Alonso which is too good to turn down. It's added that Leverkusen are drawing up a list of candidates to replace the 42-year-old, including Stuttgart boss Sebastian Hoeneß and Germany assistant manager Sandro Wagner. Hoeneß Stuttgart finished second in the Bundesliga last season ahead of Bayern Munich, 12 months after surviving the relegation playoffs. City handed new VAR verdict. Pep Guardiola and John Stones have plenty to smile about after Manchester City won against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Stones headed home in the 5th minute of added time at Molineux to take all 3 points back to Manchester. In doing so, they remain only 1 point behind Liverpool, who stayed at the top of the Premier League table after their win over Chelsea. While that gap remains the same, City's advantage over Mikel Arteta's side has increased to 3 points. The 10-man Gunners' loss to Bournemouth 2-0 enabled Pep Guardiola's team to capitalise. The former Premier League referee Keith Hackett believes it was the right call to award the goal Stones scored despite the initial confusion about VAR's involvement. Stuart Atwell was right to give Kavanagh the opportunity to assess his opinion, the retired official has said in the Telegraph. I believe Silva used a degree of intelligence rather than skullduggery in the build-up. Hackett continued, did that action on Wolves keeper Jose Sa prior to the Manchester City corner kick prevent the goalkeeper from making a save? I am not so sure that was even looked at by the referee when reviewing the pitchside monitor. When Stones headed the ball towards goal, Bernardo Silva had moved seconds earlier, and the goalkeeper was now left with a clear line of sight and no visible interference, resulting in referee Kavanagh overturning his original decision and awarding the goal. Big Kyle Walker transfer update. Manchester City star Kyle Walker could be on his way out of the club in the coming months, with Givmer Sport sources stating that the defender could have to consider his future after falling behind in the pecking order at the Etihad Stadium. Walker has only started 3 Premier League games so far this season, taking the captain's armband in them all. But he wasn't in the squad for City's dramatic late win over Wolverhampton Wanderers on Sunday, having only played for a grand total of 2 minutes in City's opening 3 top-flight games. He's been subject to a severe lack of game time by his own standards, and sources have stated that he may have to consider a move away, especially if game time doesn't improve. Givmer Sport sources have revealed that Walker is having to seriously consider his future at City with recent developments in terms of squad selection. The long-serving City star remains behind Lewis in the pecking order at the club, with the youngster's versatility and quality on the ball massively improving already this season under Pep Guardiola, who is never short of praise for their homegrown prodigy. Walker will get opportunities throughout the season. However, there is a chance that City will consider using Manuel Akanji at right back if they mix things up at the back, especially with Lewis's versatility needed in midfield. There is the prospect of a move to Saudi Arabia for Walker, which is very much on the cards as those in the Middle East try to tempt him with big money, despite his reported £175,000 per week wages. And once the fixture list approaches the second half of the campaign, the England international will have to decide what his next career move will be, especially if Akanji and Lewis are chosen ahead of him in the pecking order at right back. Pep finally decides on Man City future. Pep Guardiola has decided to stay as Manchester City manager and will soon sign a new contract with the Premier League champions, with the move being branded as a very clever move by one observer. Guardiola is out of contract at the Etihad at the end of the season and had indicated earlier this year that he might not go on for too much longer in the wake of Jurgen Klopp's decision to step away from Liverpool. However, in recent weeks Guardiola has indicated that he is now more likely to stay, insisting he feels the love from City's fan base and that any decision to hang around will be based around his job satisfaction as opposed to feeling like he needs to prove himself. Now, according to multiple reports, Guardiola has indeed made a final decision on his future and will indeed extend his deal, with an announcement potentially due before the end of the month, and with pundit Paul Robinson quickly reacting to it by branding the development as massive news and a very clever move. It's massive news for Manchester City. It's just typical Pep. It's a very, very clever move. I think it shows his loyalty to the club and it shows he's still got the hunger. The former England goalkeeper told Football Insider his time at Manchester City will come to an end when he wants it to. They've got the charges looming over them, and for the first time in a number of years, they're not the favourites to win the Premier League, so there are a lot of questions being asked of Man City. Something just doesn't feel right. I just think with all that noise going on, this is perfect timing from Pep and the club. It's a very clever move and I'm sure that's what he wants, to take the noise and all of the distractions away. A new contract nips all the questions in the bud. Cole Palmer makes Man City transfer decision. The 22-year-old made the switch to Stamford Bridge in 2023 and has since established himself as a crucial player in Enzo Maresca's side. Sources close to Palmer's camp have told Football Insider that he remains keen to repay the Blues' faith in his talents and is not considering leaving the club. Reports had previously suggested that Pep Guardiola's side were considering re-signing Palmer as a long-term replacement for Kevin De Bruyne. However, any talk of a move is now considered premature given the doubts from all parties. Sources also say that, while City regret letting the attacking midfielder leave, there is a belief that paying big money for his return would not be a good look for the club. This comes after Football Insider revealed on the 18th of October that Chelsea are not interested in entertaining offers for their star player, and it would take a world record fee for them to take notice. And that's the end of today's video. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss daily update from my channel.